first. What did you feel? What did you feel?
I guess I felt most on when we were just like really close to each other and I was trying to grasp his attention.
Okay,
As
so.
far as just the eye contact, I guess. with each
Okay.
other.
This scene is more than grasping his attention, though. You know, in terms of like, you know, a seduction, because we discussed it last week when during your cold reading. It is a seduction scene, and I didn't really see you do anything to seduce him.
Okay.
You know, when a woman seduces a man, usually, I could be wrong here, I think he knows it. I think he knows he's being seduced. You know, and it's more than just getting his attention. It's somehow in your body language and in the way that you're moving around him that this is a mating dance, and that's why this scene is really. I think it's a hard scene. But again, we have to turn down the sound and know what's going on. And so I'm just going to point to a little things that showed me you weren't being as seductive as you need to be. I mean, even when he came in at the top of the scene, you know, it's Officer White, isn't it? That to me felt like you were just gathering information. And I think it has to be more than that. I mean, I just see her looking him up and down like, are you my next meal or not? I know, it's just, yeah, you know, something you're going to have. I mean, she's sexy. And she, you know, somebody said, I read you know, what female movie star would you absolutely not want alone in a room with your spouse or your boyfriend? And the consensus was pretty much Angelina Jolie, you know. Yeah, Angelina Jolie, and it's just because we just know she would know how to work it, you know, and clearly she did. I just loved after Mr. and Mrs. Smith, you know, they both came out. Oh no, this didn't start. No bull fucking shit. You think we're stupid? Police. Yeah. And quite frankly, I would be disappointed if it didn't. Kidding. Okay, so I really, that has to be, you know, flirtier. And then, you know, we talked about how so much of the scene is about you lying to him and letting him know, I'm not lying, but I'm not going to give you anything unless you give me something in return. So that line, we were friendly, you know, but we weren't friends. You had to let him know that you're lying. Did you have an interrupting for Sue Lefferts?
I did not have an interrogatory for Sue Lefferts.
I think you need one. I think you have to, this has to be one of your best friends. And she's dead. But you're not going to give him, you know, he's a cop. You're not going to help him unless you know he's going to help you too. You and Paget and all those other people. Okay. The whole, you know, do you know why he's, what's the line, do you know why he's doing what?
Do you know why he's humoring you?
Oh, yeah, in my brain, I saw you walking up to him, touching his lapel, you know, just really, or grabbing your drink and sitting down and look at this. Okay. You know, you didn't have any of that going on, and we need to see that. And it is work. You know, just, I think that oftentimes when people are really attractive as you are, you don't have to try as hard. You know, if you look at some of the greatest seductresses in history, they weren't lookers. They really weren't. Catherine the Great, you know, not a looker. I mean, there's just, you hear about these women who drove men to insanity, jumping off cliffs and shit. And you look at their pictures, and they weren't lookers. It's like, whoa, you know. And the reason they did it is because they had to. It wasn't going to be handed to them. And they're extraordinary stories. So treat it as if you're not a looker. You know, what would you have to do to get him to see you and notice you and pay attention to all of this? And what can you do, yeah, to just weaken him?
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I never heard of the night owl. No,
And just kind of caress him more, touch him more?
You have to. That's a lie. You probably went to the night owl every night, you know. Yeah. It's like, no. You know, you're not going to give him anything without knowing you're going to get something in return.
Okay.
All right, and that has to really be set up. Yeah, and so, you know, again, I put that you looked uncomfortable, and I think, you know, we have to, if you felt comfortable. It didn't show. You really you looked like you were holding back a
Closed
little.
in more,
Yes, and you know what? This is a little tool that I think will help you. Anytime, and Dustin, I talked to you about this, when you have to do a seduction scene and you, in your real life, are involved with somebody, you have a spouse or a significant other, have your goal be to make them jealous. To make them jealous. If they had to watch this video, if they were in this room, do everything you can that would make them go, oh, you know, honey, let's see, that, I know that was just acting, but I don't really know, and, you know, just really good.
yeah.
That should be the goal. You know, you can't play it safe and do the scene for, you know, your boyfriend.
To make him jealous.
Oh, there she is. Who's making all that noise? Oh, I should have known. Yes, make him jealous. I think, is that blood on your shirt even? You know, I think, what do you think about the blood on the shirt?
It shocked me. It surprised me.
That is a fucking turn on.
Oh, is it
That
turn
means
on?
you kicked someone's
Yeah, I was
ass
totally
today.
off.
You're a badass, and I like that. That means you know how to protect people.
Way off. Okay.
Yeah, well, and this is, you know, and it really is. She's totally turned on by that. That he's got blood on his shirt. He can get his hands dirty, and it's not like these fucking judges she's been fucking. You know, I don't know anything about getting hands dirty. Anyway, yeah, so that has to turn you on. And then, yeah, but you did it anyway. That's cool. Yeah, do they deserve it? You know, and I don't even think you care if they deserved it. He took care of someone who probably deserved it. You know, we're going to err on the side of safety. Okay, when he asks you, when you give him the information about Paget, he makes us quit the life at 30, blah, 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 things about the drugs and that. This is a gift to him. You know, it's like, okay, I'm going to give you something in return. I expect something in return. All right? So that laundry list is something you know, and you have to say it to him in such a way that, you know, okay, I'm giving you this gift, and what are you going to give me in return? You know, leave me alone, give me immunity. And then even the date or appointment, that has to be much sexier, because we discussed what the difference is there. All right?
Okay.
So, you know, I have a feeling, and I don't know, I could be wrong about this. I was discussing it last night, and I probably don't say it enough, but I think that sometimes you guys feel things. And so when you're doing the scene, you may feel as if your actions are in place because you're feeling so much emotionally. But that's not always the case. You know, there are people whose emotions are very easy to read, and somehow that helps translate the behavior and action. The inner work helps the outer work become stronger. But if you're one of those people who has like a lot of armor, or you're really protective, or you know, your emotions are just buried deeper, then you do have to do a little bit more, to the point that it might feel almost unnatural to you. But it won't look unnatural, you know, and that's really, it's kind of strange. But I've seen this enough times where I've pushed actors to do stuff that was so up far their comfort zone. And that was the only way we could actually read what was going on. All right, and that's just something to think about. I'm not sure if that's really the case with you or not.
It might be.
Yeah.
I think it might just, it's just hard to just relax, get it out, you know, be.
Well, it's beyond relaxing. It's about look at these. Aren't they great? Would you like to touch them? Well, you can't. Unless, you know, and that's her thought process. And I started some new vitamins today. Can you tell? Oh boy.
Okay.
All right. So do you have it?
Yes, I got everything down. Thank you.